As Scott mentioned, I'm Tamsin Ettefagh. I was one of the co-founders of Envision Plastics. This June, I'll have 33 years of plastics recycling experience. I'm very outspoken and passionate on the subject of plastics recycling, but I just want to mention my very first job was at NewPack, which stood for New and Used Padding and Carpet. So I'm kind of excited that 32 and a half plus years later, I have joined PureCycle Technologies this past February, and we are one of the people looking to recycle carpet as well. Next. So this is PureCycle's timeline. So it started with P&G developing a technology in a lab and evolving that technology to multiple patents, where then we came in 2015 and licensed that technology from them. We slowly built what we would call a feedstock evaluation unit. FEU is how we describe it. And that was built in 2019. And then we were able to raise more money after proving to multiple customers samples from that FEU unit over the past year. And that money has now allowed us to start construction on our commercial line in Ironton, Ohio, which should be online by the fourth quarter of 2022. Meanwhile, we have gone public, we've raised more money, and we expect to build out 1 billion pounds of capacity by the end of 2023. Next. So this is just an example of a post-consumer bale of curbside material coming through. I probably should have switched it to a carpet sample, but I do have that coming up. It goes through a feedstock pre-processing, so that kind of eliminates the stigma that we have to have a pure polypropylene going into our system. We do some pre-processing of certain formats of polypropylene. The good news is we can take all kinds of formats. We have ran over 170 different samples in our feedstock evaluation unit. Out of those 170 plus, we have sent those samples out to a multitude of customers, and we are sold out 4 times over on the first plant that we're building commercially right now as we speak. It goes through an extraction, a filtration, and a product processing that gets it to a purely clean, almost like virgin polypropylene. What I like to talk about is it is not mechanical recycling and it is not chemical recycling. It is a solvent recycling system. We are basically doing what you would do if, here's a good layman example. If you were to accidentally put pepper in your salt shaker and you went, oh my gosh, I really need salt, but I don't like pepper. You could add water to it and that would be your solvent. Water would dissolve the salt, the pepper would float, you could filter it off and be left with salt water that can be converted back into salt. It doesn't molecularly change the salt, it's still salt. Just like that, we're taking a solvent that dissolves the polypropylene and it actually leaves things like colorant and additives that you might add to carpet like fire retardant or stain protection that would keep it from being a food grade material. We're removing those additives and it allows us to get back to a food grade type polypropylene. Next. So this is a video like the others.
Plastics recycling has been around for decades, but traditional mechanical recycling methods have significant limitations for polypropylene when it comes to quality and color. PureCycle Technologies uses a patented breakthrough technology, resulting in ultra-pure recycled polypropylene while using dramatically less energy than virgin resin production. Our process begins with feedstock made up of reclaimed consumer packaging and many other discarded products traditionally destined for a landfill. Once melted down, the contaminated plastic is put into solution at unique conditions that start the purification process. The PureCycle technology process incorporates units of operation that have been in existence for decades, and extraction and filtration are at the heart of our process. These two simple concepts allow us to produce an industry-first, ultra-pure recycled polypropylene. During extraction, our process creates the ideal conditions where dissimilar things separate. Similar to how hot water can extract tannins from tea leaves, our process removes odor, contaminants, and other plastics from the polypropylene. From here, we simply alter the conditions to create an environment where similar things stay together. Much like how a coffee filter keeps the coffee grinds from flowing into the pot, our filtration captures color and tiny particles of contamination, resulting in ultra-pure recycled polypropylene. From there, we add back in the additives that the process removed and pelletize the resin, closing the loop on polypropylene waste. And that's it. Now our polymer is ready for your product, which can be recycled again and again. PureCycle Technologies is committed to the goal of increasing demand for recycled plastic by making virgin-like recycled polypropylene accessible around the globe. We are excited to bring our technology to contribute to the L'Oreal for the Future program. Our first plant, which is currently projected to be operational in late 2022, is expected to provide L'Oreal groups with 25% of their annual polypropylene usage today. But we're not stopping there. We plan to recycle polypropylene to fully support L'Oreal for the Future and our other strategic partners' visions as we all work together towards a common goal of a pure planet. PureCycle Technologies. One goal, a pure planet.
So thank you. That video said a lot what I already said before. Our very first run in that feedstock evaluation unit that was successful was with carpet. And so above is a sample of black carpet already pelletized for us. We put it in the FEU unit, and at 2 a.m, those were the barrels of plastic that we made. Next. We then took that polypropylene resin and had it molded. And on the far left, you can see a molded pint-sized container with virgin resin. In the center was recycled carpet going into a pint-sized container at 100%. So you can see there's negligible difference. It's like virgin. And when we worked with our partner Milliken to add a clarifier to it, you can see we can actually make it even more brilliant than just standard polypropylene. Just like they could, we can add clarifiers to it. Next slide. And so thank you for having me today. I can't wait to answer any questions. I know some people are very still confused about solvent recycling, but we're happy to discuss. Thanks.